evening, everyone. Back again with today's project, and today we'll talk about applied linguistic, project 2, with me, Marcellinus Bhanu. I'm from class 336A07, with my student number is 33220073. And for today's topic, we only have one topic. We have to solve all cases study. So let's start. As for the first the first problem, let's write it first. So Mr. Thompson is a linguist studying the use of language in news reporting. He is particularly interested in how language can convey bias, shape public opinion, and influence the perceptions of news events. Mr. Thompson analyzed articles from various news outlets covering the same events to identify linguistic patterns that may indicate bias. He also considers the impact of these linguistic choices on the audience's understanding and interpretation of the news. So, the question is, what linguistic features should Mr. Thompson focus on to identify bias in news reporting? Discuss at least three features and explain how they can contribute to bias reporting. So, Mr. Thompson's investigation into bias in news reporting falls under the domain of critical discourse analysis, or CDA, a key area in applied linguistics that examines only how language reflects and reinforces power dynamics. Here are three crucial linguistics features he should focus on. The first one would be lexical choices. Sorry, what is it? The specific words and phrases used to describe people, events, or action, and how it contributes to bias. First, word choice can subtly frame an event positively or negatively. For example, protester clash with police versus police crackdown on demonstrators. Freedom fighters versus terrorists. Next is loaded or emotive language, for example, brutal attack, heroic effort, can manipulate readers' emotion and align them with a particular viewpoint. Number two is synthetic structure or sentence construction. So, what is it? The way sentences are structured, including the use of passive versus active voice, um, how it contributes to bias. First one is passive construction can obscure agency. Shots were fired by whom versus police fired shots. Active voice can highlight or blame. The protesters damaged property versus property was damaged during the protest. Number three, framing and presupposition. So, what is it? Framing refers to how information is presented. Presupposition involve assumptions embedded in installments. How it contributes to bias. Headlines and leads often frame the narrative. Government defends controversial policy. Presupposes the policy is controversial. Opposition attacks reform plan. Frames critics are aggressive. These choices influence how readers interpret the rest of articles, even the facts, if the facts remain the same. Problem 2. We'll read it first as usual. Imagine you are a language planner working for the government of a country with a diverse linguistic landscape. The country has several indigenous languages spoken by different ethnic groups, as well as a dominant national language used for official purposes. Your task is to develop a language policy that promotes linguistic diversity while ensuring effective communication and national unity. So the question is, how can the government promote the use and preservation of indigenous language through education? So the answer is this one dives deep into the heart of language planning and policy, a core area of applied linguistics, promoting indigenous languages through education while maintaining national unity requires a balanced, inclusive, and strategic approach. Here's how government can do it. Number one, implement multilingual education or MLE. What is it? A system where students begin learning their mother tongue or the indigenous language and gradually transition to the national or international language. And how it helps? Supports cognitive development and literacy by starting in the familiar languages. Next is preserve indigenous language by making them a medium or instruction, not just a subject. And the last one is builds pride and identity among ethnic communities. Number two, develop indigenous language curriculum and materials. So what is it? Creating textbook, storybooks, dictionaries, and digital resources in indigenous languages, and how will it helps? So makes indigenous language feasible and usable in formal education, encourage intergenerational transmission by giving younger generation access to written forms of their heritage languages. And the last one is empowers local educators and communities to contribute to curriculum development. And the last one, number three, train and support indigenous language teachers. So what is it? Recruiting and training teachers who are fluent in indigenous language and equipping them with pedagogical skills. How it helps? Ensure quality instruction in indigenous languages. Next is creates employment opportunities within local communities, and the last one is strengthens the status of indigenous language by professionalizing their use. So the conclusion for today is applied linguistics helps us understand how language influences society, from media bias to language policy. Mr. Thompson's case shows word how word choice, syntax, and framing can shape public opinion in news reporting. In contrast, promoting indigenous languages through multilingual education, local materials, and trained teachers supports both diversity and unity. Language is more than communications. It's a tool for identity, power, and inclusions. So, uh, that's all for the presentations for today. Thank you for your attention, and bye bye.